Hey, and welcome to another episode of ZÁY SHEEN Webisodes, where elegance meets sustainability, and we explore how conscious choices in fashion can shape a better future. Today, we are diving into the world of sustainable style and personal reinvention. Fashion today, as we all know, is one of the most unsustainable industries, for overconsumption to pollution, but solution does exist, and they often start with how we approach our own wardrobes. Joining me today is Julia Eichert, better known as the Munich Stylist. With over 20 years in fashion industry, Julia is a trained master tailor, a fashion technology graduate, and a former product developer who went on to launch her own sustainable clothing label. Today, she runs Sustainable Styling Munich, where she offers high-end style coaching with a sustainable twist, teaching the art of redesign and responsibility in fashion. In this conversation, we'll explore Julia's incredible journey, her insights on how conscious consumerism can transform the way we dress, and the practical steps we can take to reinvent our wardrobes while making fashion more sustainable. So get ready for an inspiring discussion that proves style and sustainability are not only compatible, they're powerful together. So let's get started. So thank you very much everyone for joining us here on ZÁY SHEEN Webisodes. We got our wonderful guest all the way from the other continent of this planet, Julia.
Hi.
Welcome,
Thanks
Julia,
for having
to the
me.
show.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Of course, it is my pleasure to have you on this ZÁY SHEEN Webisodes. Please introduce yourself to me and the people.
My name is Julia, and I work as a stylist, a personal stylist in Munich. And I do that by focusing on sustainability, like strongly focusing on sustainability. What does that mean? I'm not doing like editorial shoots. I really go into people's closets and work out personal style, and we work with what's there. So I would make suggestions if something is missing, and sometimes there's a couple of things missing, but in a lot of cases, we do not need anything else but creativity and to use what's there. And I mean, there's a saying that the most sustainable clothes is the ones you already have.
Exactly.
And this is what I work with. And if we then need to add things because there are missing pieces, I would find sustainable brands like yours, for example, sustainable fabrics.
Thank you.
And I really do educate in terms of what's good quality, what is good workmanship, what makes a piece of clothing durable and sustainable, and yeah, things like that.
Wow, thank you so much. I'm sorry, you were about to say something.
Just so this is what I do, like on a one-to-one basis, but then I also educate in bigger groups, right? I
Exactly.
do speeches, I do seminars, I get invited from companies to speak to their staff, things like that, just to spread the word about sustainability, about what we can do as a single person in order to live a little bit more sustainable in terms of our clothing. So
Of course. Thank you so much, Julia, for that, for, giving us a small introduction. Those people who don't know Julia, as we were talking behind the scenes, and I told her that this is one of the podcasts that I was waiting for a long time. And because I saw her work and the ethics and the way that she works, and she's one of the I would say great sustainable stylist who don't let you spend your money, but be creative with whatever you have
yeah,
and create
I
with
need
that
to say
things.
like a little bit of background maybe.
Yes.
I have an education in like proper tailoring, like several row tailoring kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I did study clothing technology. So I worked in the industry for the last 20 years or so. So I really come from the production, from the product development, from the tailoring side. And what I do, and I brought some pieces
Amazing.
here with me, is I redesign things from people's closet, from my own closet, things that are too small, things that are not in fashion anymore, things that are just, clothes that we really like, but we do not wear them and we don't want to get rid of them. And so I try to transform them into something new. So this is a USP that I offer, and that is something that I really, really, really like doing.
Beautiful, beautiful. I mean, I think
Yeah.
I not think, but I believe that's one of the best things when you come to support sustainability, because even the brands who produce, they are making some extra thing, even though that's sustainable, but still we have enough. We have enough in our closet, as you mentioned earlier. And I also say, as a brand owner, that you don't have to buy more, even from my brand or any other, because you already have so many things in your closet. And try to do and play with that things first, and then if you need something, try to support sustainable and ethical brands so
Exactly.
you
And
can make a
educate
change.
people where to start, because it's the first, it's small steps that you can do.
Right.
Just check what's in your closet, because
Right.
there's statistics in Europe, but I think it's very similar to the US, that we only wear like a third of our closet. We only wear what's next to us, what's on, on the pile that's like in front of the closet. And then there's a pile, another pile, and another pile, and another pile in the back of the closet. And out
Yes.
of whatever reasons, most of it because we don't see it, because we forgot about it, because it's in some kind of box somewhere in another room, we don't wear it and we don't use it. So I think the first step is really to make ourselves aware. What do we own? What do we have?
I see. Exactly. I mean, I love the passion you already mentioned in the first 5 minutes. 10 times education, education. And of
Yeah,
course,
because it's
that's the
that.
most important thing that we need to know. We need the awareness
Yes,
of it.
yes.
We need the education of how we can be more conscious with our clothes, with the planet, and with our own money, because we're spending that too. So,
This and also like style wise, what
yes,
is the clothing that makes me feel comfortable? That
right.
is nice for my body. Like I don't work with like body types so much. I mean, I know all the tailoring, I know all that, but the most important thing is that we know which pattern, which shape makes us feel comfortable, makes us feel
Yes,
confident. And, this is education. People usually don't learn that in school or at home or whatever. We just
exactly.
dress ourselves how, how we, I don't know, how we see it with our parents, how we see it with our peers, but we don't look at it from like a very educated point of view. And I
Right.
try like to do that. And the other thing is with fast fashion, there's already two generations like Gen Z and Gen Alpha, obviously,
Yes.
who do not know really good quality anymore because they grew up with ultra fast fashion and fast fashion. And that's a
Yeah.
totally different game in terms of workmanship, in terms of material. I mean, 70% of all material used is polyester by now. It wasn't like that when I grew up. So this is
Right.
all things that have gotten lost. And I really try to, educate that secondhand is a choice that you have, and it's most of the times a much better deal than the fast fashion.
Right. Exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, you made exact pain point, not a pain point, but the also a pain point, but 100% on point, that we do not know the quality that you guys used to know. And
Absolutely.
we just go in the brand or at the shop and see, whatever it is. We don't know about the stitching. We don't know about the quality of the fabric. We don't know about how it should be shaped. Like, we whatever we see trending, we assume that that is fashion. That's how it's
Yes.
supposed to be.
Yes.
but not into deep how when we're buying something, how can we, take care of that to last it longer
Yes,
and
if
all
we
that
even
thing.
have the chance to take care of it, because there's garments in the ultra fast fashion market that are made so badly that after 2 washes, no matter how you wash it, it's over, it's gone. You can't use it anymore. And yeah, and just
Definitely.
how to figure out what makes a good quality. How can I go into the shops and see the difference,
Exactly,
you
Julia.
know?
I'm getting more excited by we're getting into it and the things that we could talk about. But before we jump into this one about the quality and all that, I want to know the process of what you do as a sustainable stylist. How do the person approaches you, and what are the next steps, and how you go to fix that issue for them?
So the first step would be a free call, like a 20, 30 minutes call where the person can get to know me a little better and I can get to know the challenges this person has with their
Right.
clothes and what she or he would expect from me. And there we can see if it's going to be a fit, because if someone just wants to shop for a holiday or would just want to go personal shopping, I would not do that, because what I do is I need to get to know the person, the personality, what really is there. Like we need to work out like a style DNA for that particular individual person. And so I need to get to know the person and the closet first. So I would not go shopping with anyone that I don't know and that I have not seen the closet first. And of course, this is cost, because I first want to reactivate what's in the closet. So this is something I need to check in front in front of starting to work with someone. So that would be something we do
Right.
in the call, and the person would let me know what her challenges or his challenges are. And when we then agree to work together, I would send a lot of questions. Like I have a questionnaire with 12 very in-depth questions, um,
Okay.
where the
Can you give me
person,
some of the examples of those questions?
yes, I want to know what the person expects from me. Then
Okay.
I want to know the shopping behavior. I want to know which brands or which shops the person frequents. I I want to know if there's challenges in terms of finding outfits in the morning and how the person prepares to dress,
Wow.
how the outfits are created. And then I want pictures in outfits that the person thinks are nice outfits from
Okay.
themselves.
Wow.
And I also want inspirational photos from other people that the person thinks this is nice. I want to look like this.
Love that.
And then we work with words. Like I love this 3 word method, and I want everyone to describe their style in 3 words. And most of the time, it's not what they think. Yeah,
What?
it's
I
not
mean,
their style.
I don't know what to answer. What were the
I
funny
know
answers
it's
you got?
very no, it's very very difficult, and there's no
Okay.
funny answers. There's very general answers, like
Okay.
um, but most of the time, not what they write in the text of the question is, because this is where I find what they really want. So
Okay.
for me, it's a lot of like mental preparation in order to to know the person and get to know what they really want and how they really want to look.
I see.
And then they need to make pictures or videos of their actual closets,
Okay.
how it's ordered, how it's structured. Yeah, some challenges with sizing, if there is some. I want to know if they want to tell me, but I see it in the closet anyway, their shopping budget per month and what they actually spend, things like that. So just to really get to know the shopping behavior, the consumption behavior, and their personal approach to clothing. So that is like the first step.
Yeah, I think that's the whole DNA thing. Once you
Yes.
get all that information, you will know, I mean, 80% or at least 80% of the person what it's all about, what they want or what they're
Absolutely,
doing.
because then I make my preparations. I do the style
Yes.
analysis with photos, with descriptions. I do my words for them, what I think is good. But when I enter their closets, like they need to prepare things, they need to put out things that they have questions about, and like they get a list of what to do. But once I enter the closet, I
Yes.
already have a vision. I already have a vision as to how to combine what's there in order to achieve the desired style, like the
Wow.
style DNA. And most of the times it really, really works well. And it's like shopping your own closet because it's kind of really new outfits to them. And everyone says this one sentence, I would never have made combinations like that. And I love it.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
Amazing. Yes. So how long does it take usually after you get all the information, they will get their new closet?
Well, this is super individual because there's closets that are like 2 rooms full of clothes. There's
Wow.
closets that are just a little cupboard. So
Okay.
it's super, super individual. So, but the minimum I do is 2 hours because less than 2 hours, it's not worth anything for me because of my preparation and everything. So
Yes.
I would do 2 hours minimum and maximum 4 to 6 hours. But 6 hours is a lot also for the person because they need to change like in 5 minutes rhythms, right? They need to change their
Yes.
clothes. And it's especially in winter with winter clothes is really hard. It's physical work.
Right. Yes,
And it's
exactly.
in a lot of cases, people then really ask me to help them to get rid of clothes, to make the decisions what they can get rid of because it's just too much. We all know that it is
Yeah.
just too much. I mean, there's people with a spending budget of 3,000 euros per month. It's a lot of money, and they spend that money, so they
On
do have these
clothing.
clothes. Yes, only on
Oh,
clothing.
wow.
Yes, yes. Sometimes because their bodies change and they really
Uh-huh.
don't know what to buy, and then they make false purchases. Like they just purchase things that really don't make them feel good. And so they purchase more because that one didn't do the job, and
I
then they
totally
purchase
see
even
that.
more. And it's super individual,
Yes.
everything. But most of the time, people do have too much clothes, and they really lost the overview, and they just lost it.
Right.
In yeah.
So you usually do for women or men too?
Well, I normally offer for both, but there's not so many men approaching me, to be honest.
Oh,
It's mainly women, and it's also mainly women after having their first child, after like changing careers, like after like a major change in their lives. So I would say women from
I
40
see.
plus. Yeah. So that is my main audience.
I Yes, because you remind me after saying that I had a podcast with one of the mothers, newly mothers, and I'll be having another webisode with one of another guest. And they were telling me after their first child how they loses the confidence, how they
Yes.
can't think of the things that how should they dress anymore, and
Yes, and their
things like
focus is
that.
somewhere else. Their focus is with their baby. Their focus is with the
Right.
child. It's not with themselves anymore. And this is something well, we women having children really need to know and need to be aware of. And
Exactly.
then our bodies change. And this is, in some cases, quite a drastic change. And like, first we have to deal with that change, which
Yes.
in itself is not really easy. And secondly, we need to learn to dress ourselves from the beginning, because some changes make it a totally different way of approaching how we dress. And then as a mother who just had babies, like in the US it's a little different, but in Europe sometimes you don't continue working until 2 years after you had your child. So this
Not
is
here.
something where, yeah, I know. I
Especially
know
not in
that
New
is like
York. There's no way.
totally different. Yes. But in these cases, which are, it's often the case, to be honest,
Yes.
they don't know how to dress like for the office anymore, and
Right.
the way of dressing for the office changed a lot in the last years, because before it
Yes.
was like suits and very formal, and now it's much more open in order to like show your personal style much more. So, yeah.
Exactly. Right. I mean, yeah, that make totally sense. And of course, the way you go in depth of a person and their personal style, and you build that, it's amazing. I would say the process that you just explained, it's awesome.
It's like a coaching. They really learn to get to know themselves, to get to know what is it that I want to show, what is it how I want to see, how I want people to see me,
Yes.
and how can I do that with my clothes? Because people would see you and you would make an impression if you want it or not.
Right.
But if you know how to transport and how to show what you want to see,
Yes.
want them to see,
Right.
um, the better it is, I think.
And I totally agree. I mean, you want it or not, you of course definitely made a first impression.
Yes,
People assume whenever they look at you, they judge you.
absolutely.
Either good or bad, it's just in
Yeah,
human nature.
this
You
is
can't
human
stop that.
nature. You cannot do anything about it. Yeah.
Right. So how you do it in Germany. If a person like have you ever had customers from the US or this side of the
No,
this
no, I
part?
do online as well,
Okay.
because it does work. It's with
Amazing.
good preparation and everything, it really works better than one would think.
Yes.
But I did not have customers from the US so far. No.
Okay. I hope definitely after this podcast it would help.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, no,
Be
I
fun.
mean, I would recommend you if somebody. I mean, I know some of the people and they have issues, especially women and men too. The young men, they just look at the on Instagram or Pinterest most of the time, and they say, okay, that's a style. That person looks badass, but he looking. It doesn't matter that whatever he's wearing, you're gonna be looking good at it
Yeah.
because
And
you
I
have your
mean,
own unique style.
just to know what makes you look good. I mean, it's really not depending on your personal style. It is
Yes.
the qualities, it is the fit. One should really never forget that good fit is key to a good outfit. And
Yes,
it doesn't matter if it's relaxed fit, if it's slim fit, but it needs to be on point.
on point. Yes.
Yeah.
So, does the colors matters to whatever you wear? Because I remember when I was doing some of the research before our podcast, there was one stylist who has a pattern of colors. He was bringing to the face, and he was just changing
I
colors,
know. Yeah,
and
yeah.
the face and the color was actually changing.
It does. I personally don't do that,
Okay.
because what happens after these, like the definition of the colors that would make you glow the most, is that people get rid of everything they have because they think, oh, the other
Oh,
colors make me look sick.
wow.
And then, there's categories that they put people in just to make it easier. It's like a system. And then if
Amazing.
you're one category, you cannot wear black. You cannot wear blah, blah, blah. There's colors that don't make you glow. So people think when I wear black now, I'm looking ill. I would vanish behind my clothes. And well, yeah, but there's a lot of insecurities. And to be honest, like every third customer I have had a color analysis before, and they are very insecure about what to do with them. Like, first, they don't even like the colors that are on their palette.
Okay.
Then, if they did 2 consultations, there's different color palettes that they got. And so my approach is, wear what makes you feel happy. Like, I am a person, like from my skin type, I shouldn't wear orange, for example. That's a color that really doesn't do anything for my skin type. But sometimes I want to wear it. But I'm aware of it's not like my perfect color, but then I can wear a little twilly. I can wear something, you
You
know,
know how to style it.
yes. And this is something I do with my clients, but I would not do a color analysis because I don't want them to get rid of what they have and then shop new clothes that just fit into their new colors. And
Amazing.
then in most of the times, they're not happy with it either. So, yes, but well, that's, yeah.
Wow. No, I mean, that's also a great example of being sustainable and with
Yeah.
whatever you have. And I love the point that you made. I also thought of that. I mean, like, okay, this person, he matches, like, he looked good in burgundy. What about the other colors? He gonna throw that out and always wear
Yeah,
that?
that's the
That's the
thing.
only
And
color he gonna wear?
there's,
So, you know,
yeah. Sometimes there's
right.
more
That's
insecurities
good.
after the consultation than before. But I mean, yeah, everyone does
Oh
what
my
they
God.
want, and there is people who are really happy with their consultation as well. Like, it's just not what I focus on. Yeah.
I see. No, I agree, and thank you for being this way. I mean, it's a lot helpful. And what about the person you said you also, if needed, to shop? How does that process looks like?
Well, I would define pieces that I think are missing in that particular wardrobe. Yeah.
Okay.
And most of the time it's the basics because we all have these amazing, beautiful wow pieces in our closet.
Closet.
And we do not have the situations to wear them a lot because it's evening gowns, it's like glittery jackets, it's like
Right.
super beautiful things. But what we miss is really good quality basics. And with basic, I mean a white shirt, a really good white shirt that you can layer, that you can use in summer as like a jacket, or you use it just as a shirt, like things like that. A good
Exactly.
t-shirt in whatever color, maybe white, black, like a neutral color that you can combine with a lot. Like pieces that link your wow pieces. Yeah.
Right. That makes sense. So, yeah, I mean evergreen pieces you mean by that. So that you
Yeah.
could wear as long as you take care of those and you can just
Yes.
wear them.
Yeah. So, and once I do personal shopping, I prepare everything. And I also, and I think that is very special, and a lot of personal shoppers don't do it because it's a lot of work. I
Okay.
include secondhand shops.
Okay.
And it's a lot of work because they only have things in one size and it's one design, and they don't have it in a
Right.
big size range or color
Exactly.
selection or whatever. So, but I do that first of all because most of the time you get much better deals. Secondly, we have amazing high quality designer secondhand shops in Munich, a lot.
Okay.
And also because a lot of clients, a lot of people are not used to secondhand shop. They think it's like smelly, it's dirty, it's like, and I want to give them a different experience
I see.
because you never know the kind of chemicals that are in the new clothing. You don't see
Yes.
it, you don't
Right.
smell it,
Right. We're coming to
but they
that.
are there. And
Yes.
I just want to make their minds a little bit more open towards more possibilities, more options they have.
Exactly.
So, and then I make a selection, and when we shop together, we just go into the shops and everything's prepared, and they would try it on.
Amazing. I mean that makes a lot of sense, and the process you make it easier step by
Yeah.
step, so it's easy.
Yes.
What other things that we're missing, I'm missing to ask that you want to add to it
For the styling
for the
part,
styling part?
well, I do the upcycling quite a lot. So before we go shopping, I try to find solutions for things. And well, this is like things I already upcycled or I'm in the process of upcycling. Like, for example, this one, it's like a blouse in a really, really nice quality. It's like a silk stretch, but it's like
Okay.
95% like silk and then a little bit of elastane. And it's just too narrow. And so what I did is I cut off the sleeves and I will insert the fabric of the sleeves in the sides and we'll make a really nice armhole solution here.
Right.
Something, yeah. So it can be worn as a summer top, for example. That's like one thing. And I can
Right.
show you what I did out of these two. That was a skirt, like
Okay.
a wool skirt, like very
Nice.
old-fashioned lady
Yeah.
wool skirt. And that was one of these Carrie Bradshaw twill skirts. And I just transformed it into one skirt, you see?
Yes.
And then I made a
Amazing.
little upper top that you can wear here.
Oh, wow.
Like, this is things I do from two pieces that are not worn anymore. I
Okay.
created like a little nice costume, for example. Or what I do if, like, there was a very classic wool trousers
Okay.
that were much too small, and I transformed them into a very relaxed, like, lounge pant kind of thing with a
Okay.
designer fabric. Like, there's like dead stock fabrics, and we
Okay.
have amazing shops. And now it looks like this. It's just inserted in the side seam. All these like classical tailored things are still there, like the bags and stuff, and all the really, really nice fabric. But now it's a very cool, very fashionable pant, and it does fit again, like elasticated waistband, and so you can wear it again. And
Awesome.
like this is things I do, like with the 501 jeans, I did the same. I sew two jeans into each other. See?
Wow.
And it looks really cool. It looks really cool
It
how it
looks
is
like,
now.
of course.
Yeah. So, yeah. So this is things I do, and then you have like really tailor-made clothes from
Yes.
your own clothes that are super special, super individual. And the good thing about that is that people try to change their perception. So they don't want to buy trends anymore. They want to wear what's special, what's individual,
Right.
like what's theirs, you know? And that is a
Exactly.
totally different approach from the like, oh, I need to have this new trend, otherwise I'm out of the fashion game, you know? Because that's a narrative that a lot of people have. Like if they don't shop new clothes, they don't look modern, they don't look up to date anymore.
Right.
And this is something that we need to change in their minds.
Exactly. And I believe upcycling things like this also help with the people who just don't like thrifting or buy secondhand. As you mentioned,
Absolutely.
it's
Yes.
smelly or
Yes.
I don't feel comfortable wearing what other people
Yes.
wore. So
Yes.
I think that's good too. So you just give an example and you show the wonderful pieces that are amazing, especially the jeans. I love that. And for a person who don't know about upcycling, what is that?
Upcycling is in terms of clothes. I mean, you can upcycle everything, but in
Yes.
terms of clothes is taking what's there
Yes.
and change it. Just makes either you make something totally different out of it, like you take a pair of
Yes.
jeans and you make a bag out of it, for example, or you redesign it, like I did with my jeans. I took two pairs of jeans that were too small, that were never worn, and I made them into a new pair of jeans that is like one of my favorite pairs of jeans now. Looks totally different, but yeah, it's a new piece of garment. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you for that.
So
And
yes.
I'm sorry, I'm cut you off, but there's another similar word, recycling. What is the difference between what is recycling and what is the difference between recycling and upcycling?
Well, recycling is more in terms of materials. So when you take like a pair of jeans, for example, and you recycle it, then it's going to be recycled into like a cotton fiber, and from that cotton fiber you would spin a new yarn, and you would just create something out of the fiber. So recycling is more like fiber material related, and
Yes.
upcycling is really the product side. Like if you have recycled polyester, for example, then that's
Yes.
polyester that's made out of plastic bottles.
Yes.
Yeah. So you recycle, yeah, you just renew the cycle of materials, and with upcycling, you renew the cycle of a product. I think that's a good way
It's
to
way
describe
better
it.
than throwing it
Yeah.
out to the landfills and, having pollution
Yes.
that
Yes.
hurts, of course, the people and the
Yeah.
planet.
I mean, it is
Right.
pricey because it's tailor work. It is
Yes.
kind of pricey, but then you have a unique piece. And with some vintage pieces, for example, I have a jacket here. That is a incredible wool blazer from
Oh,
the
wow. I
80s.
love the
It
texture.
is such a good quality. It's incredible. If you buy that now, you pay at least 2 to 3 thousand euros, and you don't even have a brand with it. Then it's an amazing quality, but the cut
Yes.
was very 80s. Like you wouldn't really wear that, and I changed it. I changed the shape of this. It
Wow.
was more like that, and I repositioned the buttons. I changed the shoulder part so it wasn't too boxy. It's not too
Yes.
boxy anymore, and I just reworked it, and now I have this incredible like quality piece that will last for years, for years. I mean, it's already 40 years old. It will last for another 20 years, and it's such a good quality. I mean, we must not forget that the wool quality, like the fabric quality
Right.
that we get nowadays, is not what we got 40 years ago.
So, my question is, we are advancing so much in this coming years and especially for the past 20, 40 years. Why the quality of clothes declining instead of getting more better?
Because we do a lot of overconsumption. I think it's just the sheer volume of fabrics of clothes that we want and that we are told to buy, that we have to buy. I mean, there's the natural resources like wool, like cotton, like silk. I mean, it's not like polyester that you can produce and produce and produce, and you would endlessly be able to produce new. That is something like, or cashmere. There's only a certain amount of cashmere goats and of the cashmere that you can put from these goats. So
Right.
that's a resource that is not infinite, right? And the more we
Right.
consume, the more we take from that, the more we have to look how we get the volumes. And so what did we do? We added polyester to wool. I mean, a lot of wool coats contain 5% wool and the rest is polyester, acrylic, whatever. I mean, this is what happened. in order to like sacrifice these incredible volumes that we want to shop.
And of course, when you do that stuff, that does not gonna last long.
No, and it's not nice to wear. I mean, if I want to wear a wool coat, then I want all the benefits that wool offers, right? It's breathable, it's warming, it's odor repellent in a way, you know. It's and plastic is quite the opposite. It's very
Right.
sweaty. It doesn't keep you warm. It really makes the sweat bacteria develop very,
Right.
very fast.
Right.
And
Exactly.
yes, it's just not, it just looks like wool, not even, but they make it look like wool, but everything else is plastic. I mean, if you burn a polyester thread or a polyester fabric,
I've seen
the
that.
what's left
Yeah.
is a piece of melted plastic.
Right. Exactly.
That's the
So
thing.
we are here talking about the quality of the making, and especially about the, as you mentioned, about the fabric itself. You mentioned about chemicals. What are those? How can we navigate, and what are actually chemicals that are using in the clothes?
Oh, there's a lot of chemicals that are used for everything. I mean, everything is chemicals. I mean, a fiber is a chemical as well, if we take it out. But it's dyeing, right? The
Okay.
fabric or the thread dyeing, that's a chemical. Then if you want clothes to be like iron free, you know, you need
Yes.
to do that with chemicals. So you just treat the fabric in a way that it doesn't crease as much anymore. Then
Mm.
all the clothes that are made in Far East need to be transported to Europe or to the US, mostly by sea. So there's rodents, there's like animals, there's you need to protect the clothing from mold, whatever. So
Yes.
you need to put chemicals on it so they are resistant to all these
Wow.
things. Yeah, things like that. Or how you treat leather in order to be able to make shoes out of it. And there's very toxic ways with Chrome 6 to do that. There's good natural ways as well. As well as there's good natural garment dye ways, but well, the cheaper it is, the more toxic it is as well. Like that's a rule of thumb. And I mean, in Europe, and I'm sure in the US, it's the same. There is there's certain amounts of like for every chemical, um,
Yes.
like how do you call that?
The restriction.
The restrictions, and companies are not able to like
Right.
are not
To
allowed to
exceed that
exceed
amount.
that. But
Yeah.
then with like Shein and all these companies that ship directly to the customers, there's no
They avoid
control.
that.
There's no control. Like they don't have to ship it into like a warehouse where they can be where
Navigating that.
yeah, and
Yeah.
where there's like institutions who can check the chemicals that are in there and if it like if it's good or not, or if it's
Makes
too much
sense.
for the so when
Wow.
you order something from one of these suppliers, however they are
Yes.
called, I mean there's a lot, then you can be sure that there's chemicals in there that are not even allowed in your country, you know. That's the
Wow. So,
downside of paying a cheap price. You pay the price somewhere else with your health, with our planet, with, yeah. And
so
I
of
think people
course,
just need to know that and need to be aware of it
of
and
course, that's
really put it into the calculation if it's worth it to spend so little on a piece of garment and the expenses are somewhere else.
of course, that's the education right there for the
Yeah,
person who don't know. What
yeah,
we usually talk about is, you know, when making a fabric, we use chemicals to grow that, or whatever is that. And when you're growing it sustainability, you stop that. You does not harm the planet or the soil
yeah,
you're growing it to. And when it's come to shipping, you try to use natural things, natural, processes to avoid all the chemicals. So that's
Yes.
another way to support the sustainable and sustainable brands,
Yeah.
to not get all that kind of chemicals at
Yeah.
every step that it's coming to you.
Yeah. I mean, it starts in cotton, for example, it starts with what they put on the plants. They put
Exactly.
really toxic fertilizers on the plants, and that's
100%.
all in your clothes.
It doesn't
And then
matter if
also
it's
with
100% cotton.
yeah,
Yeah.
viscose production, like rayon, I think you call it in the US. That is, you make a fabric or a yarn out of wood pulp. So this is a highly chemical process. And if you don't watch out for like a closed cycle of chemicals and how which chemicals you use, then this can be a very toxic thing in the end on your skin.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things to think about. I mean, not to
It's
say, but there are a lot of ways to dye these days.
yeah. Yeah, but we do have certificates, we do have companies that make it all very transparent, that even, I mean, we have a denim, like, oh, not a denim, a jeans company, jeans brand in Germany, and they even opened their own manufacturing site in Vietnam.
Okay.
So they really can be sure that their standards, like very high standards, also in terms of fair working environment
Yes. Awesome.
just taking care of the people who work on the clothes,
Right.
so they can make sure that this is implied and that, yeah,
Yeah.
that it's done the way they want it to be done. So I
100%.
think there's very good examples.
I totally agree, Julia. Thank you so much. And now I understand the thing that you were, emphasizing, the education that people or the consumer
Yes,
should have. Because
yes,
without knowing these things, what is actually happening?
yeah.
So, there's total mess
And
in
another
this
thing I
fashion
wanted
industry.
to add, because
Uh-huh.
as clothing became so cheap, I mean, we can buy a t-shirt for $1, for $2, and not in a thrift store. In like, we can order
Yeah,
it for that little amount of money.
right.
So where's the value that we feel about this product? I mean, that is products that is sewn by people. It's not machines. I mean, the people use machines, but it's people who make them.
Right.
And it cannot be right to like sell a product and still make profit when it's only $1 or $5, And I think we need to really appreciate that there's people who work without breaks, who live in the factories, who really like they give their lives in order to make a little bit of money,
Exactly.
in order for us to be able to overconsume. And
Right.
I think the better we know how how much work it is to put together a garment. And it's a lot of work to put together a nicely made coat, like a
Of
Max
course.
Mara coat. This is a lot of hours going into that, because it doesn't start with constructing the garment, it starts with constructing the fabric,
Right.
with the wool, with everything. And if
Right.
that's done in a very nice way, there's thousands of people involved and they are experts, and it's a lot of knowledge. And I think we need to relearn to appreciate that.
Wow. I mean, that's actually what ethical fashion means.
Yeah.
If you're buying a t-shirt for $2, or I mean, that's, of course there are shirts for $2, not in the thrift store as you mentioned, but the big stores.
Yes, they
Even
are.
$10 or $15.
Yes.
What do you think a person who made that getting the wage?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because there's a shop that you're buying from, they're making profits, the distributors, the factory, the
Yeah.
people, other people, and then the garment worker
Yes,
who's
exactly.
getting the payment. So, these are the things that we have to think about. That's why sustainability for the planet and ethically made is for the people.
Yeah.
So you can serve for both human
Yes.
and planet.
Plus, it really makes you feel much better if you know that the clothes you wear are done
Yes.
by people who like what they do, who do it
Right.
because they like it, because
Mm-hmm.
they are paid for it, who go to work with a smile, and not because they don't have another chance, and
Another
because
chance.
if they are not exploited, their baby will die. That's a different thing if you're aware of
Exactly.
that.
I mean, I
Yeah,
I've been to that place. I came from there. I
yeah,
know how people think, and of course, the chance, the opportunity that you talked about, we don't have any of that. If we stop, we don't have any other opportunity to go. Or if in the same field, it's everywhere. It's the same thing.
yes.
So we don't have
But
much of the options.
no, but if you don't have the option to work something else, but if you're paid for what you do, and if people pay much more for what they buy, and then they just don't buy that much, it's just the same.
Exactly.
But it's on a much more valued basis
Right.
on each level.
Right.
Let's just put more
And
value behind it.
And just to be clear about regarding this conversation that we're having, we are not promoting to buy more.
No, buy
Exactly.
less.
Buy less,
Buy less
but buy
shit. That's
ethically.
the thing. Buy when you need something. If you want
Yes.
something, that's totally fine, but make
Yes.
conscious buying choices.
Exactly.
And remember, you only use a third of what you have. So if you only had a third of what you own, it would be enough in order to be dressed very well.
Exactly.
So this is something we need to change here.
Right.
If we know what we want to wear, if we know what fits us, what we like, what is good quality, we really do not need a lot.
And start from your wardrobe.
Absolutely.
Start from there. And then if you need some help, reach out to Julia. Then
Yeah.
then if she recommends you need some more things, then go for sustainable, or first of all go to the thrift shopping, the secondhand. And then if you're not comfortable with that, come to me.
Yes. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, that those are steps. The main mission is for me and for Zayshin is to help the people and planet.
Yeah.
First of all, the people and the planet. I say that because I always mention it in our podcast. The planet is not going anywhere. We are. The
Absolutely. The
planet is
planet
here
can
for
do
billions.
without us, right? It doesn't
Exactly.
really.
It's been here for
Yeah.
billions of years. We are the one
Yes.
who are, gonna go away, but the
Yes.
planet gonna heal. If we're not here, it just take couple of years, not even hundreds of thousands of years, just couple of years to heal.
Yes.
Remember COVID? When we stopped everything doing, the planet started healing its ozone layer and all the natural things and everything. I mean, it's just about a year.
Yes,
And
what
if we
comes
give
around goes around. I always think about that because the plastic we leave in the oceans, I mean, 30% of all the plastic that's in the oceans come from textiles. So,
sadly,
and we eat that in fish. It's in our brains, it's in our bodies.
it's our
Like it
bodies.
comes around, even if we don't see it, even if we don't have
Right.
these horrible amounts of clothing in front of our doors. But there's people who do, and they don't live on a different planet. It's all our planet, and I think it's our joint responsibility to look a little bit beyond what we can see directly in front of us.
Exactly. I totally agree 100%.
Yeah.
Beside this, I want to come to the sewing the clothes parts. So you, of course, you're incredible in that. How did you learn? Is that comes to from your mom or grandma, or is that something
Well,
that you worked on?
both of my grandmas were tailors as well, so I
Okay.
grew up with like tailor-made clothing in a way. I did not like that, by the way. I
Why?
wanted to have the things that my classmates have.
Oh.
Yeah, you always want to be like your peers, don't you?
Okay.
So, but then when I finished high school or college, I really didn't know what to do. And
Okay.
this is something that that I wanted to do. I didn't want to go to university straight away. So I just applied at a very traditional tailor shop in Munich, and they took me. So they employed me, and 3 years I was learning everything from scratch, everything, and we did a lot by hand. It was men's suits tailoring,
Okay.
like it was. That's why I mentioned it in the
Okay.
beginning.
Yes.
It was proper
I was
Savile Row.
curious about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how old were you at that time when you started that?
20. Oh, 18. 18. I was
18.
18.
I
Yes.
see. Wow. Amazing. Now, yeah, I got curious when you showed me the suit, and I was like, "Oh, wow, she can sew that too."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Amazing.
I had to do that. I produced like individual suits. I can make the patterns for a suit, and I would do a suit. I didn't do it for a long time because it takes around 40 hours to make just the suit jacket.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a lot. If you make it the traditional way, because there's no gluing of interlinings or something, it's all stitched by hand, and there's a
Wow.
lot of layers inside
I
the
mean,
front part.
Julia, I believe this is the thing. I mean, when you're buying stuff, and when I talk about the clothing, you put a lot of hours in that. Or the people who had it before, the people who
Yes,
made that actually put work, their heart to make that thing. Now we cannot connect with our clothing too because we just bought it for
yes,
$2. We don't care if we gonna have that or not. We just sort that out.
yes,
We don't have any stories with that clothes. We don't have any much of the connection with what
yes,
we have in our closet.
yeah.
So,
What I really recommend someone
mhm,
who wants to, just take a little insight. If
yeah.
you want to get rid of a jacket or something and you don't
Hmm.
use it anymore, before you
Okay.
throw it away, open it. Open it.
Okay.
Cut out the lining and look what's inside. Look what kind of construction is there, because to construct um, how pockets are made, that
Yes.
is really amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And how a jacket looks inside, especially a jacket that's of very good quality. I mean, have a look at that. Just a little bit out of interest.
Uh-huh. I mean,
Maybe it changes your perspective on how what great craftsmanship is involved there.
right. I agree too. I admire that, what people did on that. But
Yeah.
I would only recommend this to the people who know how to do upcycling.
No,
Otherwise,
that's why I said if you want to get rid of that jacket and before you
yes.
throw it away, before
Oh,
you
if
you
you're
know,
throwing it away, okay.
yes, before you throw it away.
Or the better option is just give it away to somebody who needs,
Yeah,
or just do the clothes swap.
absolutely. Of
Yeah.
course.
Amazing. Let me see. I mean, we're about to closer to
Yeah.
our time. I mean, we did not have a time to look our layout, and
I
we
know
just
there was,
discussed.
let me see if we missed out on something, but I think the main message about sustainable styling, I think,
Hmm.
no, oh, about typical German habits when it comes to clothes, but I think that's not of big interest for the US audience, isn't it?
No, but
It's
we
just
would
funny,
love to know
but
about your
because
perspective.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
what I think is very special about a German customer is they really want to have like a very good quality price ratio. So
Okay.
they are very prone to shop in sale. But
Hmm.
that's where a lot of like mistake purchases happen then as well.
I
Because you
see.
just look, oh, it just costs like a fifth of the normal price. I have to take it because I have to make a good deal. But
Right.
then
A wrong
maybe,
purchase happened.
yes,
Right.
yes,
One thing, I'm looking at the layout and I see the psychology of buying that
yeah,
you mentioned, the 48
yes.
hours rule. Please tell us, what is that?
That is, if you see something,
Yes.
don't buy it right away.
Hmm.
Just really think about it, sleep over it, And also ask yourself, does that garment have at least 3 partners in my closet? Or do I need to buy 2 different garments in order to be able to wear it? So, and then also consider if the situation where you want to wear it is a real situation that exists in your life, or if it's a situation that you just wish would exist someday in your life. I think that is very important, because if you make a diagram of your lifestyle, like work, free time, holidays, whatever, and
Right.
then if that is reflected in your wardrobe,
Yes.
it is not the same thing. Because normally we have much more of like fancy clothes, of clothes that are really nice, but we do not have that many situations to wear them.
I
So
see.
really see if you want to wear it in order to serve a purpose of a person that you are not, or if it's something that you can really use in your personal daily life.
I see.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for explaining me that. One more thing that I see that is about taking care of your clothes. Of course, you put a lot of efforts into that. How should we do that?
Well, I think the less you wash, the better for your clothes. Then, if you have natural fibers like wool, you do not need to wash them that often because they clean themselves. Like you put them into like the hot shower, just into the steam of the shower, and they would manage to clean themselves, like proper wool, right? Polyester doesn't do that.
Yes.
And for polyester, for example, there's washing bags, because we
Yes.
should not forget that if you wash polyester, if you wash polyamide, like the tricots for football, for sports, for whatever,
Right.
it sheds microplastic into the wastewater.
Right.
And we cannot avoid that. But then there is like bags, washing bags. And once you put the clothes into these bags and then you put it into the washing machine, the microplastic particles would stay in that bag and would
What
not
does
go
that
into
bag
the
called?
wastewater. Well, I use one that's from a brand. I don't know if we can say that, but it's called Guppy Friend. And I think
Yes.
they ship worldwide, and it's amazing. It's like a very cheap filter without being a filter. And yeah, and you
I
can
mean,
just empty it and put it into the waste bin. Normally you
right.
don't see it, but yeah, it would be caught in fibers and whatever sheds from that
Of
washed
course.
garment, and then you put that into the waste
And of
bin.
course, I think that would be a perfect example to look what it waste look like, because
Yeah, but most of the time you only see it with like the polar fleece things. There you really see the amount of fibers that it loses during the cycle. But
yes,
normally you wouldn't see it because it's microparticles. You wouldn't see it
exactly.
with your eye.
But
Yeah.
of course, at least you have it, much
Yeah.
better.
That's something you
Remember,
can do.
right? Remember when we had an intro call last time? I showed you that I hanged all the clothes outside in the sun.
Yes, yes. And that's
So
a different thing. I mean, a lot of people don't have the opportunity, but dry cleaning
yeah,
reduces the life cycle of fabrics in incredibly. So if you have the chance to not um, to air it and to air dry it, that's much better for your clothes than to tumble dry.
yes, I
Yeah.
agree with that.
And then also with dry cleaning, I mean, most of the garments that say in their care label says dry cleaning only,
Yes,
it's not true. Look at the garment composition, look at the fabric composition, and if it's, for example, 100% cotton without visible coating or things, you can wash it, but then don't wash it too hot, don't tumble it too much, and everything's good.
I see.
Yeah.
Uh, I agree with that. So we're gonna come back to a little more. If you have some time, I wanna go over with the personal style thing. If a person want to start as a beginner just by looking by themselves, that I want to do that. Let me try, and then if I can't figure it out, then I'm going to reach out to a professional like you. How can they start? What are the steps that they have to follow?
First of all, empty your closet and look what's in there. Really look what's in there. And then try it on. Because some clothes might not fit anymore. Some clothes would maybe have a quality where you say, I don't feel comfortable in that anymore. So,
Okay.
and these clothes can already go. They can already go. If it's like a design that you don't like anymore, if it's a fabric that is not very high quality and that doesn't make you feel comfortable, get rid of it. Just, start by looking what you own, what's in there. And then start to write down how you want to look. Then go on Pinterest and create boards that you think are really nice. And then try to figure out, what do these styles all have in common? What is it that really speaks to me? So it's a lot of like analytical work. It's a lot of work. You really need to put some emphasis on it.
Exactly, I agree. And
And
I
if you do
start
not want to do that, then hire a stylist.
No, exactly. I mean, that's why I was started laughing. I'm sorry, in the middle of when you were answering, because the first common question is how to figure out my style as a woman, and the second most asked question is why can't I find my own style?
Yeah.
So I
No, it's
can,
something where you really need to sit
right.
down and
I
it's
can
like
feel the
an
frustration.
analysis. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
And sometimes it really is good to have someone with a different outside perspective to help you with that.
Right.
Because the way you see yourself might be very different from how you are seen by other people. And
Right.
that is like a final tip I really like to give, and I always give it
Please.
to my customers, is
Please.
don't look at your outfits in the mirror only. Make a photo. Make a photo of your outfits and then look at the photograph, because you will look in a much more objective way than you look yourself in the mirror. In the mirror, you would always look at like some particular, places that you don't like or that,
Right.
but if you have a photograph in front of you, it's
Right.
much more objective and yeah,
An
it's
image give you a
more
clear
like an
view.
outside perspective.
Right. Exactly. Right. That makes a lot of sense. So thank you so much, Miss Julia, again for giving us a pleasure to have you on ZAY SHEEN Webisodes. It was such a wonderful pleasure to have you here. And before you go, let people know where they can find you.
Like I have a website and that is called well, it's the same, but it's either the Munich Stylist .com
Okay.
or sustainablestyling.de for Germany.
Okay.
And I have an Instagram account, and that's called the Munich Stylist.
Exactly.
As simple as that. But
Oh,
I only share tips in German there, so that might be. I do have subtitles, and I think they do have a translation,
yes.
but I would speak in German only. Yeah.
I see. But good to know. I mean, I remember when I told you, I said all of her content is in German. I don't know if she can speak English or not, but she replied, and I said, okay, let's see. And then I'm so glad that we're able to connect. We can have a conversation on this that we both understand, and I'm very grateful. And of course, it is much needed conversation that we had about being sustainable and how can we be as whatever we have in our closet, because that's where we start,
Absolutely.
right?
This is where you
So
start with your very own personal style
exactly,
journey.
that's right.
Yes.
All the links that she mentioned, Julia, is in the description below. You can find it there. Otherwise you can just search it there. Julia, any other last words on this webisode you want to share? Tips or some thoughts or some
I think I
good
already
things?
shared a lot of what
So
I'm
much,
passionate
so much.
about, but I think one very general thing is to just look more about what makes you feel good, what you think you want to wear, rather than what is trend, what do people wear, I need to wear that as well. Just feel what makes you feel confident, makes you feel really good in your
Right.
body, in your clothes, and then wear it. Wear it, no matter what other people will say about you, because in the end, people will like what you wear if you wear it with confidence and if you show who you are through your clothes.
Exactly.
So really be more confident, be
Right.
more bold, you know,
Right.
and try out things, be curious. I think that is, yeah.
Of course, I agree. The empowerment with your own unique style that you and of
Yes.
course once you start that way, people gonna assume that that's your unique style. They're gonna accept you that way, and of course, and if you're comfortable in it, it's gonna be boosting your confidence.
Yes. Yes. And if
Right.
you wear good fabrics, good quality, it automatically makes you feel so much better. So much better because
I
it's
agree.
something that is very cozy, that is very high quality. And if you wear something that makes you feel so good, so comfortable, so high quality,
Right.
so valuable,
Right.
then you change.
I agree. Thank you so much, Julia, for this and for
You're
all the
very
guidance
welcome.
and putting the spotlight on this topic that is very much needed, not just in Germany, but in the US and across the whole world. People should think this way. And I would be, of course, people gonna find this out very helpful. And if they think about next time they're going to buy something, before do that, they check their own closet. I think that's a success, right?
Absolutely.
Right. So thank you very much again to
It
you
was
and
my
to the
pleasure. Thanks
uh,
for having me.
likewise, and to the people who are listening to and joining us here on ZÁY SHEEN Webisodes. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.